I'm up here to say thank you to God for giving me this ability, for blessing me, for shaping me, for chastising me, for teaching me, for punishing me, for allowing me to be a vessel and touch people around the world.
March 27, 1975, a prophet named Ruth Green prophesied that I would travel the world and preach to millions of people. I had flunked out of college. I was in my mother's beauty shop and she kept looking at me in the mirror. And every time I looked up, she was looking at me. So she wrote it down. I still have a piece of paper. I've told this story before. She didn't say you're gonna be an actor. She didn't say you're gonna make movies, you're gonna make millions of dollars and all that. Make a long story long, 1982, I was filled with the Holy Spirit. It just wasn't ready. Going back to your question, rationalize, justify it, if you will, what I was doing by speaking through my work. Pastor, Bishop Blake, I said, well, do you think, I told him that story, I don't know how many years ago, do you think I should be a pastor? What she told me, she said, no. He said, no, you have your pulpit. So I always looked for that, for lack of a better word, angle. What's the story? That the only thing I wrote on the cover of Training Day was the wages of sin is death. So for many, many years and decades, I did that through my work and through my philanthropy and through being a good guy and all of those things. That's not the case anymore. What my mother said to me was, Denzel, you do a lot of good, but you must do good the right way. She said, you know what I'm talking about. Can't buy your way in. Can't love your way in. You gotta serve. You gotta do good the right way. If that film changed, in order for me to justify living in the worst way, I had to die in the worst way. He died in a very small way in the script. But I purposely wanted him to be knocked down on the ground and crawl like a snake.
You are put here for a reason. God created man, and God intends for us to love all mankind. And by being in a loving mood, caring for one another, that's our purpose in life. We should care for one another, and we should love one another.
In this Twitter tweet, mean world that we've created for our children, the least we can do is consider what we've done and think about the young people, the future, and individually, collectively do the best we can to try and turn this thing around. I blame no one. I look in the mirror. On the other side of it, what an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. So what an opportunity we have to practice. I am particularly proud and happy about the young filmmakers, actors, singers, writers, producers that are coming up behind my generation. In particular, Barry Jenkins. Young people understand this young man made 10, 15, 20 short films before he got the opportunity to make Moonlight. So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, P. Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So, keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. I remember coming home into my mother's beauty shop, and I had a small amount of success. And I said, Mom, you gotta think, look at me. And she said, boy, you don't know how many people have been praying for you. So I have been prayed for and supported by many people, but specifically by my mother in those days, by my wife now, and for a long time. So I've been protected. There's been a hedge around me, if you will, and a legion of prayers and people who pray for me.